Go.
I'm going to talk to you today. I'm Ed Wasserman about how creative behaviors really evolve. Genius, inspiration, insight, foresight. Without serious study, most people blithely believe that these are the prime forces that produce game-changing innovations by highly celebrated heroes. That's because it's all too easy to tell tall tales without doing the hard work of exploring the factors that truly contribute to advancing the human condition. Such study is needed because the insightful or eureka moment may be a myth, a naive and fanciful account of human progress. Innovations may actually arise from a complex web of historical, circumstantial, and accidental influences, all deserving proper scientific inquiry. Science has devoted considerable attention to the origin of species, but far less attention to the origin of human behaviors and innovations. Charles Darwin published The Origin of Species in 1859. He proposed that a simple mechanical principle, the law of natural selection, could explain the origin and evolution of Earth's many life forms without appealing to an intelligent designer. From a diverse population, those organisms better suited to survive and reproduce simply enjoy a competitive edge over those less well-suited. A parallel idea can explain the origin and evolution of our behavior. Edward Thorndike proposed the law of effect 40 years after Darwin's origin. Thorndike's elegant yet powerful law holds that, from its rich response repertory, an organism tends to repeat successful behaviors, but not unsuccessful ones. Just like the law of natural selection, the law of effect involves entirely mechanical processes of variation and selection. It proceeds without foresight to produce adaptive behaviors through a purely trial and error process. Just how does the law of effect work outside the laboratory? One real-life example from the realm of puppet theater nicely illustrates the process. Basil Twist is a MacArthur Genius Award winner. His trailblazing act was to set Hector Berlioz's hallucinatory Symphonie Fantastique. It was a puppet show that didn't involve puppets. It did involve bubbles, feathers, plastic bags, ribbons, fringes, and sparkles. And its fantastical gyrations were staged in a giant tank of water with a coordinated team of assistants animating the action. Was this revolutionary spectacle conjured by Twist's foresighted planning? Absolutely not. While on a walk, Twist spotted a cracked fish tank in a recycling pile. He took it home, fixed it, filled it with water, and began several impromptu experiments. Twist first put a piece of silk on a coat hanger and dragged it through the water. The encouraging results prompted him to buy a larger tank and various other materials. He then decided to set the kinetic festivities to music. After trying several compositions, Twist settled on the Berlioz score. From a broken fish tank to a groundbreaking masterpiece, we see variation and selection in action with no end in sight. Is this selectionist approach to human innovation of broad generality? How similar are the processes of variation and selection in the evolution of species to those involved in the evolution of behavior? Do insight, foresight, inspiration, and genius play no part at all? It's far too soon to offer final answers to these deep questions, but it's not too soon to explore them with the best methods of behavioral and brain science. Orthodoxy holds that what we make and do arise by premeditation, by design. On the contrary, I suggest they evolve as if by design. In my forthcoming book, I explore this possibility by detailing the history of 25 innovations, from the butterfly stroke to the Heimlich maneuver to the Iowa caucus. I believe these origin stories debunk the myth of innovation through epiphany. Instead, they stress the role of three basic causal factors: context, consequence, and coincidence. Focusing on the process rather than the product of innovation thereby elevates behavior to the very center of human creativity.